This time on Between the Wheels.
So you could do some nice burnouts with this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really sweet ride. I've known Sebastien for quite a few years. He's provided a lot of vehicles in the past for us for different movies we've done, a lot of wild rides. And he truly is the Burnout King.
You're 6 years old.
So today we're heading to Gatineau, Quebec, just across the river from Ottawa to see Sebastien's 1980 Z28 Camaro. This is a really sweet ride. I've known Sebastien for quite a few years. He's provided a lot of vehicles in the past for us for different movies we've done, a lot of wild rides. But aside from providing some cars for our movies, he is a very talented mechanic and he's got his own classic car auto restoration shop. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm standing here with Seb and Gano, and this is your shop?
Yes.
Grumpy's Customs, where'd you get that name from?
Because I'm a grumpy guy.
That's hilarious.
Back then I used to become grumpy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because he's like one of the nicest guys I know, but so this is your shop. It's a classic restoration shop.
Yeah.
So tell us about this place. How did you get this place?
I was looking to get a shop to start by my own, and I was doing my a course to get in business.
Okay.
And I always wanted to be in a car business.
Right.
And everything went like bang, bang, bang.
Worked out. It's amazing because you're the same age as me and you own your own shop
Yep.
here. You're working on some of the coolest vehicles I've ever seen, which is why I got to know you in the first place. So we did a movie in 2015 and you provided a 1955 Chevy 150.
Yep.
We used that on a movie called How It Is. It was a family movie.
Thanks, Michael. You have no idea how much I appreciate your help.
Anything for you, Mrs. A?
And it had Jeff Thorman, who's now in a part of Home Renovision DIY.
Fix that. Don't forget, lefty loosey, righty tighty.
So he's got his own YouTube channel, and he was the father, and you provided the car. This is kind of the main aspect of the movie was restoring this car and getting it going, which is what you did with your dad. So tell us the story about how you restored this vehicle.
Geez, back then I was 12, 13 years old. That was my first car. I had that as my 13th birthday. My father bought it in 1976.
Wow, 76.
And this car went to all the street machine eras, like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Finished the era of the Pro Street. We basically took the car apart and then start the car all in new. So strip the paint off, repaint it.
So you've been doing this since you were a kid. You would say you got your skills from your dad?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've been in the shop, for a long time. I remember my father was carrying me with the troller inside the trunk, so he was able to work on his car, and I was sleeping in the little
In the car
kid
seat.
troller back then.
That's hilarious.
So that's where it starts.
Wow, that's an awesome story. So you have a lot of really cool vehicles here, but we have something really awesome to show everyone. So you have a 1980 Z28 Camaro.
Yes.
So we're gonna go take a look at that thing right now.
Yeah. It's a 1980 Z28. It does have a 350 cubic inch Chevy crate engine with around 320 something horsepower. Factory motor was called L82, and back then was 190 horsepower.
Okay, so you swapped the engine. Did you swap it yourself?
Yes.
Okay, very
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. I didn't want to blow the factory motor out of it because this car is all matching number.
Oh, okay.
So if I want to give it a little bit more, I didn't want it to blow the factory motor, so that's why I changed for a different one.
Okay, so you have over 300 horsepower to the rear tires.
Yeah.
So you could do some nice burnouts with this thing.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So it's more power, more compression, just a tiny more
Okay.
than what it was back then. I put a EFI system on it, so it's way more fuel efficient.
Really? So
Yeah.
what kind of fuel efficiency do you get
It's
in something like this?
MSD atomic system I put on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many liters do you get per 100 kilometers?
I didn't figure that out.
Didn't figure it out?
The tranny on it is the factory one. It's a TH350.
TH350.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how many? That's a 4-speed?
It's a 3-speed.
It's a
automatic.
3-speed.
3-speed automatic.
Wow.
I have the factory differential 342 posi rear end on it. Like body-wise, it's like factory. Nothing been touched.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your story.
Yeah.
So this car is actually kind of famous at this point because a couple years back we did a movie called Ottawa
Yep.
back in 2019, and we had a character named Magnum driving the car,
My name's Magnum. I've been for hire since '82. I solve problems, but I don't come cheap.
and you were actually his sidekick, Joe.
Yeah.
Kimchi. That's good shit, man. Put this stuff up, we're taking it all.
Good, you want them all?
I want them all.
I'm training to be the next Magnum.
Nah.
So you did a hell of a burnout with this thing in that movie.
Yeah. In that movie, that was a nice burnout, man.
It's a good reason to celebrate. Joe, let's light her up.
That was a nice burnout. So that's really cool. And then the following year we did another movie, so this car returned once again.
That's one good looking Shih Tzu.
So you were in 2 different movies. This car has appeared in 2 different films,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful vehicle. So what makes this car so special to you?
I have all the paperwork.
Okay.
So my father ordered that car in Gatineau, the Merce dealer in 1980 as a birthday gift.
So you've had this, so this car has been in the family since the 80s?
No, it's been sold in 1984,
Okay.
and the second owner always stay in touch with him, and I always told him that I wanted the car back in the family. So in 2015, bought the car back.
So your dad bought this car in 1980, and then you guys sold it.
in 84.
Sold it in 84, and then you bought it back.
Yep.
Wow. So this car was gone for almost, 20 years, I guess?
20 something years.
So you hunted it down and you got it back in the
Yeah.
family. That's amazing. That's an
Yeah.
amazing story.
Yep. This car came out with the only option, the cruise control, because my father back then wanted to cruise that car. Like the first trip he did, he went to Atlantic City.
Okay.
That
Wow.
was the first trip the car ever made. And he bring the oil to do the oil change there.
Really?
He wanted to go in a summer trip,
Yeah.
and that's the car he ordered to do that. And I do the same.
So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go to Atlantic City with this car?
Yep.
Wow. All right. So that's awesome, Seb. All right. Let's take this bad boy for a ride. What do you say?
Yep. Good idea, man. Good one.
That's a good one, man.
I hit the cutoff. You hear that?
Oh yeah.
I was not able to shift.
Oh, that's hilarious. I was just gonna ask you why someone would want to own a car like this, and I think you answered the question.
Yeah. Just for fun, man.
Just for fun, man. That's right, man.
That lights up good, eh?
Oh man, that sounds awesome. Wow, that's awesome, dude. I know you're a fan of the 80s like I am, so you like to have fun.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
Whoop.
Yeah. Woo! That's funny. So your dad drove this in the 80s, and then you're driving it now 20 years later.
Yeah.
But someone else drove it between you guys.
Yeah.
How did you find it? How did you get the car back?
I went to the Brockville car show. So we were at the show and the car was there.
Okay.
So I was looking at the car and said, that's a fucking nice car. And I bought the car back in 2015.
So how does it feel having the car back after 20 years?
It's super, super nice. Yeah, he wasn't sure. In 04, 05, 06, he wasn't sure about selling the car or keeping it, or his son wanted the car.
Right.
Because he owned the car more years than my father had it. Like, he drove that car from 1984 to up till 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, that's what happened. So I got the car back. I wanted that car so bad because when I was young, I was looking at pictures of that car.
Right. What was his reaction when he found out you bought it back?
He was happy. He was happy because I do have all the paperwork.
Wow.
All the paperwork from that car when it's been bought new, I have it at home.
Right.
The paper inside the window, the sale paper, I have everything.
Right.
I do have the factory glove box paper.
Nice. From 1980. Wow.
That thing pulls good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh,
Oh man.
geez.
That really squeezes your ass into the seat. You know, it's funny. You have 30 more horsepower than the Bronco, but my God, does it feel way faster than that? Unbelievable.
That's the gear.
It's the gear, eh?
It's the gear.
Right.
342. It's between a highway gear and a race gear. It's just in the between. It's the perfect gear.
It's made for some speed. So Seb, thank you so much for showing us your vehicle. It was an awesome ride. Unfortunately, this episode almost didn't happen. A couple months back, you actually were in a really serious accident.
Yep.
Tell us about what happened there.
Geez, I was heading to get some parts for a customer vehicle, and then when I arrived on the Highway 50, I ran on a spot of ice, so I lost control. I did a commotion. I didn't remember anything about the accident, but I came out with my broken arm, broken piece here.
Wow.
Was kind of a bad accident. It 30 minutes to get me out of my truck, so just to tell you how the truck was bad.
30 minutes, and this was in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
What were the chances of you surviving this kind of accident? What did they tell you?
Jeez. I don't know. Somebody was there to look at me and help me to get getting out of that situation, I guess.
Well, Seb, I'm really happy, that you're okay, man, because you're a great guy. Seb is an awesome guy. He's done so many awesome things for us in the movies, and he's a really good person. I'm really happy to see his shop here and everything. So we're really thankful that we were able to see you, and thanks so much, man.
Very happy, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your vehicles with us.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a week later. We're heading back to Gatineau to see Seb one more time. We're gonna give him a very special gift. So anybody that appears on this show is gonna get a Between the Wheels hat. So we're going there with my family to drop him off. We got my wife, my son's in the back, buried under all the boxes, and we're gonna give him the hat. I'm really happy we were able to make this episode happen because, like I mentioned earlier, he's a really great guy. And having worked in the film industry with a lot of different professionals, I've worked with different cameramen, sound people, production assistants. It doesn't matter what your job is. Seb is one of the most dedicated people I've ever met in my life. He doesn't even have a film background, but he took his job as a car wrangler so seriously. Anytime I've had to work with him, he's always gone above and beyond. He's one of those guys that is a true, he's a rarity, one of these guys that's just so useful in the industry. When we were looking for cars for the movie Ottawa, Curse of the COVID, I couldn't get the vehicle I wanted, and he spent more time finding a different vehicle for us that was actually better. And a lot of people wouldn't do that, so I'm just really glad we were able to work with him and do this episode. So we're gonna head over there now and give him his hat.
Next time on Between the Wheels.
So this 5-cylinder, it's a legendary motor. But the thing is, you sold yours.
Yeah, I decided to go to the dark side. 2002 Mercedes AMG, a supercharged.
And you gotta convince me why you bought this thing, because right now I'm still not sold on it.
Not a problem, Maxie.